Hello everyone and welcome back to La Vida Fútbol. My name is Luis Laureano and today we're going to talk about the different ways to contact teams, clubs, and coaches. Please remember to subscribe. If you've been following the channel, thank you very much. I hope that you like this video. If you like it, please hit that like button. If you watched the first video of the year, in that video we talk about the 3 steps of how to start becoming a soccer coach. And today we're going to focus on step 2. So if you haven't watched that video, I'm going to link that video in the description section below. Feel free to visit that first and then come back to this video. So step 2 is getting experience. So before we can get experience, we have to have a team that we're helping, and we have to have a coach that we're helping, or a club that we're helping. So without having one of those three, it's going to be difficult for you to get some experience. The question we're answering today is, how do we contact these people? How do we get on their radar? Well, there are 3 ways. The first option is email. And email is something that I find to be very efficient, but not always effective. Here's why. I find email to be very efficient because you can write something, send it out, and then you're done. That is efficiency, quick and easy. But like I said, it also has the potential to not always be effective, because while you are in control of what you write, you are in control of how long your email is, what you include in the email, attachments. So that has the potential to be effective if that person reads it. That's where you have some challenges with email, is you're not always in full control of that person reading the email. You actually don't even have control of who reads it. Another reason why email is not always effective is because the email sometimes gets delayed. Meaning you sent it to, let's say, a club team, so they have a general email, and this email gets monitored by a few people, and from there they decide, okay, who should this go to, and then they send it out to somebody else, and then that person might take a few days or a few weeks before they read it. And it could easily become a waiting game. If you decide to send an email, make sure it's to the right person. A lot of the times, if you visit a club website, you'll be able to locate the coaches section, and from the coaches, you'll probably get a list of coaches. You go to the coach that you want to help out and find their email and send an email directly to that person. So if you can avoid going through the general email section, then I would recommend you do that first. So I mentioned earlier that email doesn't always have the potential to be effective, but it also has the potential to be very effective. Okay? So if you decide to go with email, also know that you have the possibility of getting a very quick response as well. Okay? So sometimes it's really just about timing. At a personal level, I have contacted people via email, and it has worked out for me. So here in Germany, when I first came, I didn't really know too many people, and so I had to do email. Email had to be one way that I contacted people. So in this email, I will talk about myself, so basically who I was and what I was trying to do. And I also always try to suggest a meeting time. That is something that I found to be very helpful, to send an email and suggest a face-to-face meeting. So if you decide to make contact via email, good luck with it. I hope it works out, but also know that it could take some time. So the second option is making a phone call. Now, with making phone calls, I find that something to be very effective and efficient. But you also don't have control of that person answering. But you do have control of how many times you call. Okay? So keep that in mind. One thing that I recommend to you, if you do decide to make a phone call, is that you write down, or that you are sure of what you're going to say or what you want to say. You don't want to be in a phone call and then that person's asking you, what it is that you need, and you really can't tell them. Okay, so be prepared. So at a personal level, I too made contact via phone. However, I did that with coaches that I had contact with previously. Okay, so it wasn't like I called someone that had no idea who I was. I just found that it would be better if I first sent out an email and then made a phone call. However, you can try it, and then it does have potential to work out, and you could essentially skip the email. The third option is face-to-face contact. Now, this is something that I highly recommend. I think that's probably one of the better ways to go about it. If I decide to go with the email option or the phone call option, I always try to suggest a face-to-face meeting. I find that a face-to-face meeting is probably the best way for them to get to know you, and for you to get to know the people around the club, or just to get to know the coaches. So around the time when I started coaching, I actually went up to a coach. I asked if I could help. I told him that I wanted to learn and to get better as a coach, and he let me participate, and it was probably one of the best things I could have done. So I think that it is something that could be very, very effective, and it could be very, very efficient. So now, do I think it has the potential to be ineffective or inefficient? Maybe the least from the three. Just because if you are in contact with that person, that is probably going to be the best chance for you to talk to that person. And in general in life, that might be something to be comfortable with, is take advantage of that opportunity. When you see somebody and that is somebody that you want to talk to, take that step, go talk to that person, because it could be that you don't have that opportunity again in the future. How do you find these people to make contact? Okay, well, going back to websites, visit the websites, visit Facebook pages, visit Instagram posts. And these are all different ways that you can find out where these people are. Okay? Now, normally on the websites, you'll have the different teams that club offers. And if you click on one of those teams, normally it'll tell you, the age group, and it'll tell you when this group trains. So you choose a day and you go to a training session, and you try to be there early. You try to be there early so that you have time to talk to the coach, so that the coach can think about how you could help out that day, and so that they could also plan to kind of introduce you to the players. So I would definitely recommend that you're there early if you decide to do a face-to-face contact before a training session. If you found the video to be helpful, hit the like button. If you want to continue learning with La Vida Futbol, hit subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, or anything in regards to the video or the channel, comment below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.